We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, today we will see about the bioanalytical method validation protocol. These are the contents. And these are the some acronyms, means short names for that. Here are some definition. Treated plasma. Sometimes in bioanalytical method validation, the treatment of the plasma is required for the adequate mixing of the spiking solution, means the drug API and the plasma itself. Here in this validation protocol, we are preparing the formulation QC as well as API QC. Generally, in simple validation, the API QC is required instead of formulation QC, and those are the quality control means solutions prepared by the spiking solutions with the use of spiking solution. Here, we are taking the liposomal encapsulated as an example. Nominal concentration, which is uh, in this example, is the free drug doxorubicin, and it is predefined according to that the daily dose of the doxorubicin, the mixed QC, and the nominal concentration will be decided. And generally, MQC middle quality control is taken as a the midpoint corresponding to that daily dose of the drug. Here the example is the doxorubicin, and API QC is defined as QC from the API free drug, and for those also nominal concentration is required, and we will see about that. The first experiment in the validation that is carried out is primary stock out weigh out verification, because after the stock weighing we have to perform this experiment, that is PSSW-V, and to check the accuracy of the stock weighing. And after that the MQC1 vial, that is the corresponding concentration of that uh, daily dose of the uh, doxorubicin, and from that we will check about that accuracy of the stock weighing. Acceptance criteria: the calculated relative percent difference of the mean response ratio between the calibration stock solution and quality stock solution must be within the 5%. So here the percentage CV that we are obtaining, that should be less than or equal to 5%, means difference between the response of that quality control stock and the calibration stock should not be greater than 5%. And here the calculation for that, how we can uh, calculate the percent relative difference uh, between the quality control and uh, calibration stock. CC and QC sample preparation. After the stock weighing has been done, the separate weighing for the QCs and CCs has done, and uh, the spiking solution preparation. Before that, we need to have the spiking solution. So for that we will do that. And acceptance criteria for the standard blank and standard zero is over here, that accept the analytical batch if standard blank can carry over standard blank shows the response of interfering peak at the RTO of analyte, that is less than 20% of the lowest response of the two replicas of lower calibration curve standard, that is the lowest standard, and the any interference peak is observed in the chromatogram, and that response should be smaller than the 20% of the response of that lowest calibration standard. And the interfering peak at the RTO of ISTD, here ISTD we are using, that is internal standard, that the peak at the ISTD should be smaller than 5%. So ISTD can be used in the bioanalytical method validation as well as the gas chromatography for the residual solvent analysis. In the gas chromatography, ISTD can be used in the same way. We can quantify the main peak, and for the assay preparations. Here the main aim is the assay. The test method is the assay for the gas chromatography as well as bioanalytical method. So here we are validating the assay procedure for bioanalytical procedures. Except the batch if standard zero shows the response of interference peak at RT of analyte smaller than equal to, smaller than 20% of the response of the, if it is above 20%, then reject the batch. And response of ISTD greater than or equal to 50% of the mean area of the whole analytical batch, then this is acceptance criteria. System suitability, that is another experiment has to be carried out before the extracted sample analysis. So for the system suitability, generally companies are preferring that MQC vial, that is aqueous MQC vial, and that percentage CV of the area ratio of the retention time for the respective turn ISTD should be smaller than equal to 4%. So here we are assessing the percentage CV. Percentage CV is nothing but the variations between the response, that is area ratio, and retention time, that is the response generated from the instrument, LC-MS instrument, the area obtained from that drug as well as from the ISTD, and a retention time obtained from the drug as well as from ISTD. Okay. System performance, after the successful completion of the SYS experiment, we will perform the system performance experiment, and that include the standard blank, ULAQ, standard blank twice, and this is a base sequence. In that ULAQ is the upper limit of quality control, and the LLAQ is the lower limit of control. These are the aqueous sample preparation, not the extracted one. Extracted is a different one, that is prepared from the plasma. These are the acceptance criteria. Peak area of the analyte should be more than or equal to 5 times of the LLAQ sample when compared to first acquired standard blank. So here, we are not. I said wrong earlier. That is ULAQ and LAQ and standard blank are the extracted sample preparation, not the. So here, the standard blank, that is without any drug, and that the carryover that is observed in standard blank injected after ULAQ should be smaller than 20% for analyte and 5% for ISTD response, compared to analyte and ISTD response respectively of LLAQ. So whatever the interfering peak you observed at ISTD response and the analyte response should be according to that acceptance criteria that is mentioned over here. Reject the experiment for evaluation of both parameters if percentage interference observed in first and aqueous standard blank, that is greater than or equal to 20% for analyte and greater than or equal to 5% for ISTD. And that is the things the students have to remember. In this case, repeat the same experiment by using separately processed samples. All these samples and solutions prepared for this experiment has to be stored in the refrigerator according to GLP, Good Laboratory Practice requirement. So, OECD guideline, according to the OECD guideline, GLP has to be followed, and according to that, analyst or research associate or the operator will perform the experiment. Specificity, after that, the specificity is carried out. Generally, the matrix can be with the anticoagulant, and so the after administration of the drug to the patient, the human plasma can be with anticoagulant and can be lipemic and hemolytic as well. So the matrix effect or the specificity is carried out with the use of 7 matrix slots containing intended anticoagulant, that is a normal anticoagulant, that will be in the final sample analysis, means study sample analysis, and one hemolyzed matrix slot that is containing anticoagulant, the same anticoagulant, but hemolysis take place, means rupture of RBC, and lipemic matrix that is higher lipidemic concentration in that. So we are assessing that the effect of this hemolyte, lipemic, and the other matrix slots on the quantization of that analyte. So is there any effect or not on that response of that analyte and response of RT as well as response for both drug as well as ISTD. So in-house procedure for preparation of hemolytic K3, the freeze wall blood is -78 plus or minus 8 degrees centigrade at least for 12 hours and throw it at room temperature. So we have to store the wall blood at and add 2% of throw blood having anticoagulant K3D and plasma and vortex. So this is a procedure for hemolytic K3D plasma, that how we can hemolyze the K3D plasma. So wall blood is thrown at and throwing means putting that frozen blood in the one tray containing that water of at room temperature. Use hemolytic plasma for further experiment. The specificity will be evaluated by comparing the response of interfering peak at retention time of drug and analyte, ISTD, in the standard blank against the response of the respective extracted LLOQ. So here extracted LLOQ is used. Here we can see that acceptance criteria, and what is that? Retention time interfering peaks. Response of interference peak at retention time of analyte should be smaller than 20% of the response of respective LLOQ. Response of interfering peaks at retention time of ISTD should be smaller than 5% of the response of the ISTD of the respective LLOQ sample. At least 80% of the plasma loads excluding hemolyzed and impairing in lipemic should be within acceptance criteria, means smaller than 20% of response of respective LLOQ. The response observed in hemolyzed, heparin, and lipemic matrix loads should be within aforementioned acceptance. These are the criteria for that. And criteria in ADL, Analytical Development Laboratory, if the acceptance criteria is put for the, for example, and for dissolution assay or relative means relative substance analysis, then acceptance criteria will be included in the COA, certificate of analysis, that this much impurity is present. But here we are not assessing the impurity, we are assessing the plasma profile in the patient, different patient. So we are comparing that uh, reference uh, reference drug, that is a control sample control study, and then that with the test drug. So we are before that the validated method should be there. So we are we are dealing with that bioanalytical method validation that will be useful for the study sample analysis for the bioequivalence studies. So experiment criteria, the response of interference peak at the retention time of analyte should be less than 20% of the response of respective LLOQ. Response of interference peak at the retention time of ICD should be smaller than 5% of the response of ICD of the respective LLOQ sample. So this is a requirement for the LLOQ, and the interference peak for the ICD. So for the analyte, the generally the response should be lower than 20%, and for ICD generally 5% smaller than. Hemolysis and lipemic effect. Now this is another experiment that after specificity will be carried out, and it will be performed by processing 6 aliquots each mixed QC and generally SQC and LQC, but here we are assessing the free drug of the doxorubicin. That is why we are taking the mixed HQC and mixed LQC. From one lot of the screen hemolyzed plasma and one lot of the screen lipemic plasma. So screen lot, that is specificity, that indicates that the plasma is free from the interference peak and interference substances. So the one screen lot of for one lot of screen hemolyzed and one lot of screen lipemic will be used, and 2 replicates of CC standard and nominal screen plasma along with the 2 sets of batch qualifying mixed QC as per the method SOP will be prepared. So here are the acceptance criteria, that mean percentage of mean accuracy for hemolyzed and lipemic QC sample should be in the range of 85 to 115. That is most essential part, and whatever the percentage CU obtained for all the QCs like SQC and LQC, it should be within 15%. So here the higher quality control and lower quality control, according to that, according to the means concentration that is obtained from the main daily dose of that drug, and from that we are getting that spiking solution concentration, nominal concentration, that is HQC and LQC, and for that HQC, that is higher quality control and lower quality control, that in between that the MQC is there, middle quality control and medium quality control, that is correspond to that daily dose of that uh, doxorubicin, means that for here for the hemolytic and lipemic effect we are assessing that whether that hemolyzed and lipemic plasma is beneficial for the further processing or not, because if the hemolyzed and lipemic plasma are heavy of interference, and if they are lowering that accuracy of that QC sample, then it will be affect the final study sample analysis, because after that study sample analysis over, the ISR batch will be covered, that inter sample reanalysis, and if in that something will happen due to the hemolysis and lipemic effect, then the whole experiment and there will be revalidation of that particular method. So to avoid that, we are assessing that hemolytic and lipemic effect for that impact on the final accuracy of the sample. Matrix effect after that HLE experiment. The short name of the hemolytic and lipemic effect is the HLE experiment. H for hemolysis, L for lipemic, and E for effect. So after the HLE experiment, that is a MF, that is a matrix factor, and that is correspond to the two different thing, that is matrix factor and ISD normalized matrix factor. And this is the definitions for that how we will assess. Generally, the both the ISD and the analyte should be free from the absence of matrix, and how they will perform, or how they will perform without any matrix ions. That is a main thing involved in this experiment. So matrix factor generally evaluate that percent CV of the for the samples calculated matrix factor by using the following formula, that is a peak response in presence of a matrix ion and mean peak response in absence of matrix ion. And ISD normalized matrix factor is by using this formula, matrix factor of analyte divided by matrix factor of ISD. So for the this is the formula for normalized matrix factor and matrix factor itself. After that matrix factor, we have to perform that linearity. That is SSE experiment, we can say. The uh, solution spiking check, and in that SCC experiment, we can say this experiment is the SCC, the spiking solution check. And in the spiking solution check, we will perform the uh, S1 to S8 standard, or S1 to S9 standard, according to that calibration curve, calibration standard that we have prepared. And the further HQC to LQC level, that is higher quality control to the lower quality control. And in that, these are the acceptance criteria. Means the regression value should be greater than equal to 0.98. For R value, it should be greater than equal to 0.99. The back calculated concentration of all CC standards should be within plus or minus 15%, plus or minus 20% at LLOQ. So lower level of quality control, it is required 20%, and for other standards, it has plus or minus 15%. At least 75% of that CC standard should meet the aforementioned acceptance criteria, including at least one of LLOQ and one is ULOQ. So lower level of quality control means lowest standard, and the upper standard, it has to be included. Means one has to be passed, and two consecutive CC standard at the same level for both replicate of CC stat should not be beyond the aforementioned acceptance criteria. Means two consecutive CC standard at the same level from both replicates of CC stats means whatever the extracted sample whatever the sample will be included in between the two consecutive CC stat, that is a company will follow, some organization will follow, some organization will not. Some organization will only one QC set, but in replicate way. So if some organization is following that both QCC set, one is upper and one is below, and from that sets, both replicates of CC sets should not be beyond the aforementioned acceptance criteria. For example, reject the CC if both replicates of CC standard 3 and standard 4 are of out of acceptance criteria. So if the standard 3 and standard 4 are out of acceptance criteria, means above 15 and 75, then means within 19 within 15% and 20%, then reject the CC standard. Exclusion pattern for CC standard: if back calculated concentration of calibration standard differs from the nominal concentration by more than 15% and 20% for LLOQ, that is lowest standard, then it must be deleted from the calibration curve. Exclusion of CC standard will proceed following fashion in case of more than one CC standard are to be deleted. Means first exclude the CC standard with justifiable analytical reason, for example, but not limited to poor chromatography, no peak, followed by most deviant out of external criteria standard. Recalculate the regression function and well calculate concentration. Inspect the curve. If more points deviate, repeat above step. Continuing, removing the calibration standard until all remaining standard are within the acceptable guideline limit. If more than 25% of the total numbers of calibration standards are removed from the regression analysis, the batch run will fail. The batch run fails. Of a result table before and after exclusion of each standard. Do not re-include any calibration standard once excluded. Exclusion of calibration curve standards should not be changed and the regression model used. In case of any analytical abnormality, but not limited to poor chromatography, no peak is observed in more than 25% of total CC standard, which leads to failure of the CC and to analytical batch failure. The exclusion of CC standards is not uh, required, and as such, final prints should be taken. Now, this is the operation that is carried out by the operator. Exclusion and inclusion of that pattern, if it is uh, uh, out of the accidental criteria, that is over plus or minus 15% and 20%, and 75% of total QC should meet that, and consecutive CC standard if failed. These are the external criteria for the exclusion of that excluded pattern of the CC standard. Sensitivity. Now for the calculate the sensitivity by calculate the precision accuracy of LLOQ sample in each of that at least three acceptable P&A batches. Now the three acceptable P&A batches should be there for that appropriate performance of that analytical method, bioanalytical method. So what is the acceptance criteria? The within and between the batch precision of mix means LLWQC should be within 20%. Means lowest standard should be within 20%, and other standards are then plus or minus 15%. The within and between batch percent mean accuracy of LLWQC QC sample should be within 20% from its intended nominal concentration. Nominal concentration means what the concentration that is decided according to that daily dose of that doxorubicin. Here the doxorubicin is there. Precision within run the external criteria for the all the QC 15% for LLQ, 20% between run, that is acceptance criteria for QC except LLQ, that is 15%, and accuracy within run accuracy, that is over here acceptance criteria for that, that is 67% of the batch qualifying API QC, and should be in the range of 85 to 115, but not less than 50% of the batch qualifying QC samples at the same level. Means if they are at the same level is there, okay, for both the CC standard above and below, means one set and to a second set. If they are less than 50% of the batch qualifying QC at the same level, then they are failure of the batch. Okay. And at least 67% of the batch qualifying QC from that should be passed, and 50% at the same level. Uh, if above than 50%, okay, then the batch will be failed for the same level. Means one of the QC has to be passed. If two QC are used, like MQC1, MQC2 for upper set and second set, and one MQC full, that is okay. But both MQC will fail, then the batch will be fail. The between run percentage mean accuracy will be established by using all the replicate samples QCs at LLOQ low and middle one, middle two, and high samples for three precision and accuracy batches. Acceptance criteria: the between run percentage mean accuracy, this all QCs are there, should be within 50%, and for LLOQ plus or minus 20%. Now all the samples, whenever the QC except LLOQ is there, then plus or minus 15%, and for LLOQ plus or minus 20%. Recovery. So this is a formula for recovery, and percentage mean recovery will be determined by comparing the mean peak area of the 6 replicates of the extracted plasma quality control samples, high, medium, low concentration, again the respective mean peak area of the 6 replicate of unextracted quality control samples of API QC. Now this is important because recovery should be there uh, from the extracted samples. So percentage mean recovery of the analyte is equal to mean extracted peak area divided by mean unextracted peak area into 100. And this is the acceptance criteria. Percentage CV of that replicates at each QC level should be within 15%, and percentage CV of that percentage CV means percentage coefficient of variance. Recovery at all levels should be within 15%. Recovery same as the recovery of the internal standard. Recovery of analyte means the recovery of internal standard is there. And here is the acceptance criteria. Dilution integrity experiment will be included after that recovery, and in that uh, the DISS will prepare from that concentration equivalent to experimental 4 to 5 times the highest CC spiking for 1/10 dilution. So dilution of the sample will be performed using screened human treated plasma having the same anticoagulant, the grade 3 DTA, and DQC will prepare by diluting the AULQC to 10 times with screen data. Here the DI experiment is there. So here we have to prepare the 6 replicate of DI DQC and process and analyze a sample with the 3 P&A batches. So here again 3 P&A batches are there, and that intra and extra basis as for the here we are why we are taking the DQC, because at the some time uh, there is a requirement to analyze that the plasma profile of that at the very lowest concentration, and if the study samples is out of that reach of the two quality control, means we are not detecting any of the sample, then dilution of that QC is required. So here we are preparing the DQC uh, as a recovery, or as a tool, or as a what we can say, um, if no samples study sample will be observed within that 2 QC quality control, means to study pass we have to show that 2 quality control, actually at least 2 quality control sample means QC has to be there uh, for evaluating the study samples. And DQC for that it is and yes, if the uh, plasma profile is too high, profile is too high, in that case we have to dilute the sample. So how we can dilute the sample, this is a procedure for that. And is if the plasma profile is too low, means we are not getting any of the concentration, means 2 QC are not falling in that range, the plasma profile range, then we have to add the another quality control, that is AQC, and that we will discuss later. And here is the acceptance criteria for the DQC, and the same as we discussed before. Ruggedness. So ruggedness will be performed at different analysts and different chromatographic device, and chromatographic device. All the experiment is carried out in the LCMS API 2000. 3000 is there, 4000 is there, 5500 is there, and then the Siemens 8040, 8050, 8060. They're the same instrument and the same uh, experimental device is there. Then is okay. If API 3500 is there, then we can switch over the different instrument but the same sensitivity, and in that we can prove the ruggedness. We can choose the different column for the ruggedness, and here is the acceptance criteria according to section 5.8, 5.8 or 5.9 that we discussed before. Base qualifying quality control sample done by precision accuracy batch and batch size experiment. That batch size experiment, this so BSc experiment. This is particularly done for that how much maximum sample that we can include in within a one run or within one experiment. That is batch size experiment. Stability of drug and ISTD, that we are preparing the sample means solutions from the stock weighing, and here is the preparation of drug, ISTD stock and working solution for stability assessment. This is the one table how we can prepare different solution out of that old and fresh stacking solution, and this is the procedure for that. In that LTSS is there, long term stock solution stability, working solution stability, and stability of analytes in biological matrix is there, that at a different level, that MQC, HQC and LQC. This is the note is there. Sample container material and container type of stability purpose should mimic the purpose stability. Means there is comparative. There should be compatibility between the container. If the plastic container doesn't violent is used, then the stability should be there for the spiking solution as well as the working solutions. These are the acceptance criteria that already we have discussed before, and the same for the CC and same for the QC. Freeze flow stability is there, means at least 5 FT cycles should be there, so that for the all the for inclusion of all repetition and ISR, Inca sample reanalysis, as well as reanalysis, repeat sample analysis. So at least 5 cycle is there, then we can say that for the 5 cycle the stability should be there, and the cycle will be of at least 24 hours followed by a minimum of 12 hours for the subsequent cycle, so that we can say that okay, this is okay for that study sample analysis too. These are the external criteria exposed 6.2 that we have discussed before. Batch top stability means we have to prepare and 6 replicas of LQC and HQC level. That is higher quality control and lower quality control. Because in between that two at least QCs has to be for the final sample analysis. And BT stability on the basis of percent mean accuracy. Accept the criteria as per the 6.2 that we have discussed before. Study stability of extract, and that is for the extracts that within 24 hours at both occasion as per the method SOP. Means we have to prepare the extract and auto sampler. We have to put an auto sampler as well as a refrigerator for at 5 to 5 plus or minus 3 degrees centigrade for at least 12 hours, so that we can prove that the stability of extract is there. And these are the procedure and acceptance criteria. ERRS, that is a short name for auto sampler, re-injection, reproducibility, and long-term stability of in biological matrix. This is a procedure and acceptance criteria. FDSS is there, first day stock out variation. For the FDSS vial, whenever there is stock solution preparation from the first vial, at that time FDSA will be one vial for the FDSA should be stored in the refrigerator. Additional long-term stability of free drug, that is also included. Now SAB, stability of analyte of blood. It should be carried out at the at below 10 degrees centigrade, and this is a procedure for that. And BSc experiment, batch size experiment. This is experiment that how many sample we can include in the final study sample analysis. And this is the acceptance criteria as for the 5.8 and 5.9 respectively. There is same criteria for the P and A batches also. Concomitant medication experiment. This is the experiment in the presence of other um, drugs like mm, ibuprofen and domperidone, diclofenac. And these are the drugs like they are the over-the-counter drugs, OTC drugs. So in the presence of OTC, we have to perform this analysis also to see that because if some patients these are the over-the-counter drugs, so patient may can ingest inside the body, but if the drugs are present, then if there is any impact of this drug on the final analysis, that has to be carried out. So these are the preparation of solution of the different analytes, and we have to prepare the mixed CME concomitant spiking solution. And from that, here is the table how we can prepare. And these are the mass spectro parameters for that different drug included. And these are the MRM parameters, MRM transition parameters, that is uh, mixed reaction mode, and multiple reaction mode, sorry, and that is MRM. And this is the sample preparation, how we can prepare the standard blank and analog Q for concomitant sensitivity. These are the acceptance criteria. Now another CMA experiment is carried out in the presence of other drugs in the concomitant form. Drug-drug reactivity also will be carried out in the that we prepare the different drugs like ondansetron, dexamethasone, granisetron, and in that we will perform the concentration likewise and prepare the solutions with their mean analysis. This is the mean analysis of doxorubicin, for example, and how we can prepare the sample like alloleukone standard blank, that is included over here. These are the acceptance criteria for that. Drug-drug reactivity experiment, the QC samples, how we can prepare the QC sample, and these are the acceptance criteria for that. Calculations, the calculation of calibration curve and all that thing is within in the software. So we have to see that R square is there or not, and all calculations should be reported in the 3 decimal point. This is a requirement. There's some because the bioanalytical method validation requires a higher precision, so that 3 decimal value is required. But in analytical method development or analytical validation, 2 decimal point is there. Axial linearity is the acceptance criteria for the precision, accuracy, P&A, stability, experiment, and validation termination. Any failure of the results that indicates the failure of the method, then terminate the method validation with the appropriate documentation. The method validation data and report will also be audited by quality assurance auditors in full compliance with the quality assurance department. And there is the report preparation, how we can prepare the method validation report, that is prepared, review, and finalized by the investigators, declaration, quality assurance, authentication purpose, summary of validation characteristic of chromatograph method, tables, figures, attachments. Deviations are there, if any kind of deviation is there. Version chronology, conclusion, and chromatogram. All the chromatogram is included in the report. This is the end of that lecture.